Good evening. Surprise, another video. I was looking through Twitter, I was kind of reminded of a couple things that happened on this date. On this date in 1990, Oilers win their fifth and final Stanley Cup, beating the Boston Bruins in 5 games. Bill Ranford was playoff MVP, and I'll tell you, after the start against Winnipeg in the division semifinals, it wasn't looking promising, going down 3-1. Ranford admitted, I'm not playing well. I have to pull out my socks and do better, and do better he did. He's instrumental in that comeback from 3-1 down. Edmonton ended up beating Winnipeg in Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7 to win the series 4-3. Then they swept LA 4 straight. I'm thinking, geez, good. This is pretty good. We need the rest. Beat Chicago in 6 games. And then beat Boston in 5. So they had a sweep, a 5-game series, a 6-game series, and a 7-game series. That's like 9, 15, and 7, 22 games. 12 16 wins and the 3 losses, and 16 and 6, so 22 games they played. But we're going to have to go back 2 years previous to on this day in 1988. The 1990 Oilers won the Cup in Boston. 1988, on this day in 1988. Also at the Boston Garden. It's Game 4 between the Oilers and the Bruins for the 88 Stanley Cup Finals. Edmonton was up 3-0. A win in Game 4 would give them the 4th Cup in 5 years. Boston win would salvage this season for another game. So we get into the third period. Boston was doing pretty good. They weren't going away. They go up 3-2 in the game, and Craig Simpson, with a little more than 3 minutes to go in the second, ties it at 3. They're just showing the replay of the tying goal. Just as a public address announcer started speaking, the lights go out. Okay, they should come back on. They don't come right away. Apparently, they did 6:30 Ched way back when, some years ago, did a little walk down memory lane with their Stanley Cup championships, and they had a clip, and I think somebody mentioned that Boston Garden inherited a rail line that ran right near the garden. Apparently, a passing train had tripped the transformer, causing said blackout. So 3-3, 3 minutes and a bit to go in the seconds. Like, still 20 plus minutes to go. It's like, oh, okay, what the hell do we do here? So they had emergency lights on, but that was soon fading. And by this time, they had already evacuated the Boston Garden. And Rod Phillips was recalling this, is mentioning, giving his final thoughts, and he thinking he wasn't sure whether the game was going to go on. He looked down there, and Gretzky and Huddy and a couple other players were eating pizza. Went on the ice and started eating some pizza. He's like, okay, maybe this game won't be going on after all. Well, John Ziegler and a couple other people had a meeting after this happened and figured, well, he was told, these lights aren't coming back on, so Ziegler just makes the announcement. Game is suspended and to be replayed at the end of the series should it get there. Probably the last time you ever see a 3-tie game, resulting in a tie at the end of it. Last time you'll see a tie ending a game. Yeah, so they ended up suspending it with the score of 3-3. So I think it's still in the record books. Yeah, this is also the only time you'll ever see a 5-game sweep. Because the Oilers end up winning. The series goes back to Edmonton. Oilers ended up winning 6-3, wins the Stanley Cup. Only time you'll ever see a 5-game sweep. However, the previous time the game wasn't completed was way back in 1951. It was between Boston and Toronto in the semifinals. And as back in those days, you weren't allowed to do any. On Sundays, you were not allowed to work in those days. So any game that started overtime on Saturday and then on Sunday, it's like no. Once we get past midnight, there's no Sunday, no more work. So they, after 2 overtime periods, it's like, yeah, we're not going to take that chance. Decided to end the game and didn't really replay it. And it counted in the series. So that was only the last time the game was not ended is because of a curfew. And curfew plus laws prohibiting not working Sundays, which meant playing hockey. Playing hockey was considered work. If you were a professional, that was work. So, anyways, so a couple stories thrown in there. So there's your surprise video of the night. And in the meantime, and in between time, stay tuned for the next video.